Black crystal is the most protective crystal that you could ever have. When people are waging spiritual warfare on you, they're doing that in the shade. They're doing that in the dark. They're smiling in your face, stabbing you in your back because they're not doing it in the sun. If they were doing it in the sun, you would see them coming, but they do it in the dark, so you don't see them coming. The only way to repel darkness is with more darkness, okay? I don't mean that light doesn't balance out energy. I mean you're not going to win a battle in the dark with light, because light is only going to bring you more attention. The only way to win a war when it's pitch black is for you to melt into your environment. You don't want to stand out during times of war. You want to blend in. You want to blend in with your environment so that your opponent does not know what they're looking at. By the way, this is why in ancient African cultures, and not just African cultures, indigenous cultures all over the world, people are heavy into mask. Whether you're talking about Hawaiians or Africans or Aztec people, Mexicans, like there's a reason why we're into mask, because masking is how you survive war. Okay, so a black crystal allows you to mask by giving you protection. It gives you grounding, and it's also very good at detoxifying. So a black crystal can take heavy negative energy and get it to crumble down like, you know, like a castle on the beach, like a sand castle that got access to water. Because it was never that serious. And that's what happens whenever people sometimes wage spiritual wars, is they don't understand what they're doing, and they're blinded by their own ego. And for you, what you want to do is protect yourself with darker crystals so that their energy really goes back to them, so that they have to sit with it and be with it. That way they get to cleanse it. But when it comes to you, it protects you, gives you a strong barrier, and also keeps that impact minimal against you. Lastly, silver gray crystals are excellent for avoiding being marked. Okay, let me explain this to you. So there's the light and there's the dark. When you bring them together, you get gray, silver gray. During times of spiritual warfare, you want to be able to migrate from here to here to here. The people that know how to do this and that are the people that can never be marked, because they're constantly moving and constantly transmuting energy from darkness to light. You don't win wars by being a one-trick pony. You win them by being able to transmute energy into another direction and shift and take different forms. So when we're looking at gray crystals, you know, white gray crystals, what they provide is spiritual invisibility. So when people are waging a spiritual war on you for whatever reason, they're feeling feelings that they want to put on you because they don't want to deal with themselves. The gray crystal that you have on you or in your home is going to make you spiritually invisible to them. So the attacks that they send your way, the energy that they send your way, the evil words that they speak on your name, all of that does not land, because it has nowhere to go, because you are now able to transmute your energy from the light to the dark. So they can never read you as a result of that. As you notice, the darker crystals, silver, brown, black, are heavy protection, right? And then the other crystals are more for like day-to-day stuff, like how do we cope with life? How do we make it through life? And obviously the pink crystals are heavy, like heart space crystals, which is what Libra struggles with the most. They're usually here. They don't know how to be here. And then red is your roots, right? And then the blue is serenity, right? Lilac or purple is crown spirituality. And what we also learn is that white and clear is good for cleansing, right? And we learned that green is good for calming, and multicolored crystals are good for bringing in a lot of creative energy into your space, into your chakras, into your being. And let me not forget peach, orange, and yellow. Yellow for abundance, orange for creativity, and peach for gentle energy between people. So if you're someone who has to work a lot with other people to find a resolution, find a compromise, find a middle ground, peach crystals are an excellent way to go. So what did you think of this video in terms of learning the healing properties or energetic vibrations of each of the colors of the crystals according to their families? Let me know in the comment box below. Next week, I want to talk about crystal shapes so that you know what to look for if you're just starting out on your healing crystal journey. This journey has been so instrumental for me. It's been very instrumental to include holistic healing into my practice. Again, I am not a medical doctor. This is not a medical opinion. This is my experience. I would encourage you to speak with your medical doctor to figure out what is the best way for you to treat your condition. I use this space as a way to educate about holistic healing as an alternative to Western healing. I do believe that in our society, we are overly medicated and we aren't taught how to take care of ourselves. And Lupus has given me the ability to recognize that in myself, like this desire to look for like a quick fix. Like, oh, I just want the pill so I can be okay. And when you're diagnosed with a condition that doesn't have, a quick fix, it forces you to deal with it every day. And this is kind of what brought me to holistic healing as a way to recognize that healing is a journey. It's not a destination. And sometimes there isn't a quick fix. And when that's the case, you have to find other ways to kind of tune in to recognize, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling that way? When did I start feeling that way? What happened that made me feel that way? What can I do to feel better? What did I eat? Why am I feeling like there is a level of self-examination that our ancestors had when it came to our bodies and our health and understanding ourselves that is vastly missing now. And I'm hoping that this is like kind of a journey for us collectively to get back on track with this idea of like being real with ourselves about what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're needing, so that we don't use Western medicine as like this magical box that we shake and it gives us the answer, but really as a tool, just like all the other tools, to better understand ourselves and our health. And then in that knowledge, decide for ourselves what is best, because what works for you may not work for me, and what works for me may not work for you. And that's the beauty of it all, is that we all get to be ourselves, to try what works for us, and to stick to it if we're getting good results. All right, that's all I have for today. Are you into healing crystals? What is your favorite healing crystal? Leave your comments in the box below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.
For more astrology content, you may follow all of our YouTube astrology channels. The first one being at Intuitive Healing for Astrology 101, at Styled Under Libra for Love, at Astrology Weekly for Horoscopes and Manifestation, and lastly, at Styled Under Virgo for Medical Astrology. You may check out intuitivehealing.com for astrology readings as well as healing crystals. And make sure to check out our manifestation group on Patreon at patreon.com/intuitivehealing. Catch you soon on the next video.